Well, as I was saying, just like that, YouTube, you thought you could just throw the old bear right off your platform. Best of luck to you, losers. As I was saying, do you even, European gas, bro, where does that pipeline terminate? The Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia through the Baltics into Germany. Yeah, so Germany doesn't want their pipeline shut down because they need the energy and they need the revenue too, which is why German Chancellor Olaf, good morning, honey, was so adamant, hey, please no Herdy El Gaso. Please no Herdy El Gaso. So, back to the article from RT, and hello, welcome back, everybody. Suck it, Todd. Amen, Jeff. Amen. Morning, Hunter Seeker. Shalom, brother. Sweeping sanctions are reportedly being developed, which would hit the Russian energy sector if Moscow orders an invasion of neighboring Ukraine, with the EU, European Union, and the UK, United Kingdom, said to be drawing up plans for punitive measures with support of Washington. Yeah, support of Washington. We support vanilla ice cream cones now as a nation. That's our ability to project force. On Thursday, the Financial Times reported that sources involved in the discussions had revealed plans that would restrict financing and technology transfers for future gas projects. Targeting new development is seen as a way to punish Russia while potentially sparing European nations from rising prices and energy shortages they would face if current deliveries were cut off. So we're just no new energy, Russia. Existing, fine, no new energy. Quote, Europe looking to hit long-term Russian gas production capacity would likely be a step up from anything we've seen before, James Waddell of London consulting firm Energy Aspects told the FT. It would hurt Russia by going after a sector they really care about, but it wouldn't be cutting off your nose in spite of your face, and the way of trying to restrict exports would be in the short term. According to Eurostat, blah, 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 the EU imports 41.1% of its gas from Russia. The UK is much less reliant on Russian gas, but officials have warned that curtailing shipments to Europe would likely drive up prices everywhere, aka on planet Earth. Good morning, Arkansas living. Even in places that do not buy much from Russia. It's basic supply and demand, though. The U.S. and European leaders have not published a list of potential sanctions. However, officials have warned that measures could go after the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, a controversial project meant to bring gas from Russia to Germany through the Baltic Sea. Washington and Kiev have long opposed the project. No, Washington did not oppose the project. Joe Biden gave them permission to build the damn project. Blah, 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 blah. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has previously called for the pipeline to be left out of negotiations concerning Ukraine. You bet your ass he did. And not to be used as political leverage against Russia. Berlin's foreign minister said that the underwater energy link was on the table as a possible target for restrictive measures. Quote, we have a whole spectrum of responses, including Nord Stream 2, she stated. Yes, we are always attempting dialogue, but in the light of today's situation, we must be hard. Whoa, lady, keep it in your pants. All right, so energy sanctions against Russia doesn't seem like that big of a deal, could potentially be that big of a deal. Basically, the EU has said if Russia invades Ukraine, then we are not going to buy your gas anymore. Ooh, and it does actually hit Russia in the pocketbook. And, or at least what they're saying is, we're not going to buy any more of your gas, comma. They may, at least they're leaving it on the table. And it's probably an open-ended political threat. They're leaving on the table not using the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. What's up, Tony John? Shalom. Good morning. Poland says from Newsweek says a 115-mile border wall will be finished in June with round-the-clock construction. Poland announced that work has started on a 115-mile wall along the country's border with Belarus, saying 2 construction companies will work around the clock to complete the wall in June. According to the AP, reporters were allowed to see the work, blah, 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 blah. Military and border guards patrolled the area, blah, 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 blah. 1.6 billion zlotys or $400 million. The wall is being built to stop migrants being pushed from Belarus into Poland, which is opposed to taking large numbers of migrants across its border. The European Union has called the situation a, quote, hybrid attack. According to an Arab news website, Bulgaria, France, Macedonia, Slovenia, and Spain have created similar border walls. The Belarusian side is ready to do anything when it comes to provocations, so we have to be ready for any kind of event, quote. Major Arkadiusz Tomaszewski was quoted by the AP. He and the deputy commander of the Polish border guard in Kunicka, an eastern border crossing in the country. Last year, Poland sealed the border with razor wire and increased guard patrols, according to the AP. Lithuania also started building a wall on its border with Belarus. Remember, everybody, 8, 10, 40 years ago, the build the wall, and it's like, this is indicative of an end-state nation in decline when we start building border walls. Yes, you're absolutely correct. It is indicative of an end-state nation in decline. 100% true. Absolutely correct. Also, we need a friggin' border wall. Both of these things can be true at the same time. Nations run their course. We are near the end of ours. What comes next, I have no idea. That's a different conversation for a different time. But we are not the only nation in the world that needs and or wants and or has a border wall. By the way, a lot of the border wall that's constructed in the United States is absolute, earmuff kids, bullshit. 700 miles of border fence that was put in Arizona. I know the contractor that did that, hang out, drink beers with them. For every 1 mile of border fence that was put up, they left 300 foot open. There's a 300-foot gap in the border wall every 1 mile. Why? So that they could say, the politicians could say, we built the border wall, 700 miles of it. And also, people can move back and forth freely across the border. Yeah. So, we built the wall, but also there's a 100-yard wide hole in it every mile. That means worst case scenario, you walk up on the wall and you just either go left or right. You got a half a mile walk to an opening in the wall, and then you cross the border. It's absolute horseshit. So, Poland is building a wall on its border with Belarus. Also, this was an interesting article from RT. Poland is ready to make a deal with Russia, is the clickbait headline. Warsaw, which is in Poland, is willing to let Russia inspect U.S. air defense facilities if Polish inspectors are allowed to enter into Kaliningrad. With Moscow looking to come into an agreement with NATO over security guarantees in Europe, bloc member Poland, meaning member of NATO Poland, has expressed willingness to allow Russian inspectors into its country to check U.S. air defense facilities. It was reported on Wednesday. If I was the United States, I would be pissed. If Poland is saying, we'll let the Russians in to look at our American-supplied air defense systems, hell no. That is like a literal gold mine. No. Hell no. According to the Wall Street Journal, and the idea here is quid pro quo, right? You let me see your panties, I'll let you see mine. That's basically what's going on here. You lift up your skirt, I'll lift up my skirt. According to the Wall Street Journal, which cited unnamed Polish officials, Warsaw would be willing to come to a reciprocal deal with Moscow. In return, Poland wants its inspectors to be allowed to check missile locations in Kaliningrad. Essentially, what they're saying is, you have missiles that you could use to wipe us off the face of the earth. We have missiles that we could wipe you off the face of the earth. Let's all check each other's work here to make sure that we don't accidentally wipe each other off the face of the earth. What is the point? Poland remembers that ass whooping from World War II. Yeah, but they also made the bed that they're lying in, right? Right. The idea is to let Russians into American sites in Poland. The idea to let Russians into American sites in Poland was initially proposed by Moscow. Yeah, of course the Russians came up with that. The Kremlin has repeatedly opposed the placement of foreign missiles on European territory and has suggested that air defense facilities could be used to fire ballistics at the Russian territory. Absolutely. That's why they are there. Let's make no mistake. That's why they are there. Quote, Polish officials said the government is open to missile defense inspections on the condition that Russia allows inspection of Russian missile activities in Kaliningrad, a heavily militarized Russian enclave on the Baltic Sea that borders Poland and Lithuania, the Wall Street Journal report says. End quote. At the end of last year, Russia published drafts of proposed treaties it had sent to NATO and the U.S. The documents include a long list of security guarantees sought by the Kremlin, including a demand that America move its missiles and troops away from the Russian border. On Wednesday, U.S. Ambassador to Moscow John Sullivan delivered a counterproposal to the Russian Foreign Ministry. Quote, we're not releasing the document publicly because we think that diplomacy has the best chance to succeed if we provide space for confidential talks. We hope and expect that Russia will have the same view and will take our proposals seriously, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said. There's no doubt, quote, there's no doubt in my mind that if Russia were to approach this seriously and in a spirit of reciprocity, with the determination to enhance collective security for us all, there are very positive things in this document that should be pursued, end quote. Nah, negative. That sounds like some dumb stuff right there to me. Like, nope. Seems like an excellent opportunity for intelligence gathering and to spread misinformation. If I was Russia, I would make all my stuff as janky as possible so that my enemies who are looking at, or my potential enemies who are looking at all of our stuff are going, not that big of a deal. No actual threat here, not that big of a deal. And then I would take copious notes and pictures and debriefs and videos and everything else I could get, satellite imagery of all the sites over there in Poland. That's stupid, man. And see, satellite imagery, even as good as it is, it's so much better to see things in person, right? So much better to see things in person. And to just allow inspectors to just waltz right in there, dumb. I would be furious with Poland if I was in any way involved with that situation. So that's the show, y'all. Thanks for coming back. Let's build a wall around Bear Nation. Oh, I got a wall around Bear Nation. SOB kit, refugemedical.com. Weighs as much as one loaded AR magazine. Cat 7 on the outside. Inside, inner pouch. Pop this open. You got your gloves, right? Here's your inner pouch with our red handle for easy removal. You got a pair of gloves from North American Rescue. You got a Sharpie. You've got a pressure bandage. You got compressed gauze. You got combat gauze for wound packing. Compact hyphen chest seals, nasal pharyngeal airway, fold flat duct tape. All the stuff you need and nothing you don't for the blowout kit on your plate carrier or your war belt or the back of your headrest in your truck or your car. You can get it at refugemedical.com. You can and should use promo code BEARNATION for free shipping. Also, if you're not signed up for the newsletter, get signed up for the newsletter. Got a big announcement. It'll be coming out soon, so you can do that at refugemedical.com or at bearindependent.com. And we don't spam you. We don't send like a bajillion emails a day. We don't sell your information to Russian hackers. We just stay up to date, stay in touch with you from there. So it's Friday, man. It's Day of Prep. Refuge Medical, you guys know the deal. You can find us there. Handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. And I talked about this on the live stream last night. My giant white dog got his giant white fur all over it. This is a fanny pack from Sojourn Gear. It freaking rocks. If you're looking for something that freaking rocks and is also a fanny pack, bearindependent.com. You can find this and lots of other awesome handmade, made in America gear at bearindependent.com. So with that, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a absolutely fabulous day. Have a restful Shabbat, and we'll see you soon. Shalom.